He has cleared waivers, and he will be with Adirondack soon. A face-off down in the Utica zone. A big wind-up from the point, and Andre Padan winding up from the high slot, but he blasted it high and wide. Utica banks it off of the goaltender, however, and in to score the opening goal. That is truly... onside. Kandari shifting to the right wing. Kandari walking down to the goal line. Swings it in front. Van Bramen a backhanded look. And Eriksson with a stop. More jostling and bring it ahead and clearing the zone. Swinging it forward. An odd man rush for the Flames. Here's Elson onside. Firing on goal. And Eriksson jumped off of his stick. And the Comets forced the play back to center. Long lead past Poirier. Rushing down the right side. Poirier scores. Top shelf on Eriksson. What a move for Poirier, the AHL rookie, who snipes that one over the left. That would have been a dangerous moment for the Flames. He was left unmarked at the point. Now Biega delivers a nice shoulder check to Max Reinhart. Hamilton had to roll off his stick, trying to swivel it back out in front anyway. Knocked off the side of the net. Held by Tarman as though left point. Firing through traffic, save, rebound, score! Lacey Hamilton off the rebound, knocks it in, and the Comets lead 2-1. And he'll walk back through center, pickpocketed, however, by Friesen. Here he comes onside, left wing boards. Friesen shoots high, and Ordio, who shouldered it off to the nearly knocked down by Adirondack. Utica gets another look. Here's DeFazio ahead. DeFazio ripped down, bowled over by Ordio. Hands it off to Arnold. A minute 54 to go. Empty net for Adirondack. Puck centered at the side of the goal, and Eriksson able to hop out of his crease to grab it. Crowd on its feet. Here's the horn at the odd. The Comets have won it. Adirondack's 9-game winning streak snapped as the Comets come away with a 2-1 victory in front of a sellout crowd at the Utica.
What made it happen? What made? I mean, this is obviously a pretty gritty victory. What made it happen?
It was. Adirondack's a real good team. We weren't very good in the first period. They were real good. We got our game, we found our game a little bit in the second period there and had a real good second. It's one of those games where we just kind of found a way to win. Their team pushed in the third. We got a little lucky there with, the post and crossbar. Give our guys credit. They battled, they played hard. We've got a fair amount of injuries right now. And some guys are being asked to play some big minutes that, they haven't played yet.
What adjustments did you make between the first and the second period?
Well, we had to be better with the puck. We had to be stronger in our own zone. We talked to our defense. We weren't moving the puck up. We couldn't play our game because we're playing in our end. And give our D credit. They adjusted well, and they got back hard for pucks, and they started making some passes that were tape to tape that allowed us to get on the hunt.
There have been a lot of folks in the American League who have said this may be some of the best ice that they've gotten on in a game situation, but it seemed like it was a little weird tonight. There were guys falling, it was taking weird hops.
It was.
I don't know if there was anything about it.
Yeah, I don't know either, to be honest, but the ice in general is usually pretty good in our building, but it wasn't the cleanest hockey game, that's for sure. And I'm not sure how it was, though.
Travis, this is the second of 3 games in 4 nights, and really you have 6 in 9 nights, I guess, I think it is. So how do you approach that? How do the guys approach that in getting ready for that kind of grind?
I don't think you make any huge adjustments. We talk about preparation all the time. I think our guys are well conditioned. I think they take care of themselves off the ice and get their rest, and that's pretty well all you can do. We've made lineup changes pretty well every game, so we've done we've rolled 4 lines for the most part. I thought tonight we probably rolled 4 more, it's almost the whole game right to the last 3 or 4 minutes. So I don't think our players our forwards anyway, aren't playing an absorbed amount of minutes, but some of our D are definitely playing a lot of minutes right now.
Blaine, I thought, stepped up.
He did.
Really well
Yeah, no, he did. Blainer played well tonight. Obviously Bobby and Biega played a lot of minutes, and they were Our whole D battled. I like how they battled. It wasn't easy. It was a hard night. That's a good hockey team.
You said earlier that we weren't able to play our game in the first period. What do you define as our game when it comes to Comets hockey?
Well, I think we're a pressure team. You know, we play high pace. We play fast. We play hard. We try to spend a lot of time in the offensive zone, and the first period was pretty well the opposite of that. We didn't spend much time at all. We didn't pressure their D. We were defending.
How much of the game is, in your mind, you want to have be transition game rather than a dump and chase?
Our whole game is based around a transition game. But it's also being smart with it. It's not forcing passes. We don't want to turn pucks over at the blue line, but when we don't even call it a dump, it's laying it to space and laying it to support.
This Adirondack team looks like it's gotten actually faster from the last time we've seen them in this building. They really can. They're almost playing the same kind of transition game you do.
Oh, they are. Yeah, no, they're a good team. You know, they're well coached. I'm guessing their team is taking a little bit of time with adapting to a new system, and but you can see it's paying rewards. And you don't win 9 in a row by being lucky. They're a really good hockey team, and you know, it doesn't surprise me.
Got to be extra satisfying snapping a 9-game streak.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about other teams, what they're doing. I'm just worried about our own team.
Quite happy with the opening up the 5-point difference between you and them.
Yeah, I mean, you're just happy to win. I don't get caught up with where we are in the standings. I just want our game to be sharp, and I think it's a little early in the year to start worrying about where you're at. Obviously, you're looking, but the biggest thing is just having your team play well, and if you play well most nights, you're going to be on the right end of the score.
You also talked about playing smarter. One of the things that the Comets do particularly well is they don't take stupid penalties. The Comets are fourth in the league in fewest penalties.
Right.
Talk to us a little bit about the team's defense and the team's smarts when it comes to not taking penalties, and how do teams avoid, you know, being
Well, you've got to play with discipline, and I think if you play with the puck more than the other team, you know, you're less apt to take, you know, penalties. If you have the puck, or you shouldn't be taking as many penalties. But our guys have played discipline, and you know, we talk about that. We talk about playing whistle to whistle, playing hard, but playing with discipline.
Did the team know that Trevor was going to be in the building?
Yeah, they knew. I mean, he was down before the game, so it was. I think it's good that our players see that our upper management is they're watching, and they come in and they, you know.
Did he say anything to the players?
No. He said hi to a few guys when he saw them in the locker room.
But Trevor wasn't the only one that was here.
No, Lawrence Gilman's here too, and Lorne Henning's here a lot of nights. So it's, you know.
Of all of the coaches that you've played under, who do you think is your greatest influence, and what did those coaches teach you about
that's a hard question. I wouldn't say there's one person that. You know, I think I've taken a lot from all my coaches. Obviously, I talked about Pat Quinn the other day. You know, I had Butch Goring in junior. I had him at the pro levels. You know, Al Arbor learned a lot from Al Arbor. Bobby Francis, Paul Maurice. I've had a lot of good coaches that you take a little bit from everyone. Randy Carlisle. I coached with Mike Johnson. So I think that's just part of the process of maturing, not just as a player, but as you know, a coach as well.
What's a help? The ambiance in the building, the crowd support. First time seeing what Vancouver, where they're growing their players.
Yeah, it was tremendous, and I can't. We're just talking about that. You know, for me, it was a real special experience. I think that shows through, and kind of you talk to our players, and I was talking to Frank Corrado just in Vancouver and how much they enjoy playing here. The facilities here, dressing room. Is tremendous. It's a great rink, great atmosphere. So it's a real special place to play for these guys. I think they appreciate that.
It's an old hockey barn type of atmosphere, isn't it?
Yeah, it's you know, you talk about. I kind of compare it to when you think about you know, Bull Durham and AAA baseball. I mean, that's what it reminds me of. It's special, and it's unique, and it's got a great atmosphere, and it's so well supported throughout the community, and that. I've always said, as you know, for a player, that means more than anything. You think about other places where it's not there's no atmosphere to the facility, and you're just kind of lost in the shuffle. And I think players appreciate being in a place where people care and in an atmosphere like this.
Did you say anything to Coach Green or any of the players before the game to sort of inspire them a bit?
I just talked to the coach a little bit and just kind of said hi to the couple of players I saw. So, but for me, it's great to be here. I've tried to get in earlier, but it's going to work out well. I'll be with the team tomorrow in Albany, and but I'm really proud of this group, and obviously Travis and his staff has done a good job, and the guys are playing their tails off on a nightly basis, and it's showing. They're winning games, and they've got a good group, a real hard-working crew.
A year ago, I mentioned this to you before. A year ago, we took a look at Vancouver. First off, it was our first year within that organization, and we were, most that we knew about them were the Sedin boys and Luongo. And you took a look, and they had a difficult year, and we kind of wondered, where the heck is this going to go? A year later, you got 4 first-rounders out there. They're playing great hockey. They're really hustling. You can see where they're playing a brand of hockey that's real up-tempo and transition. Was it just letting the calendar take care of itself, or is there something else that you guys are doing?
Well, I think Jim Benning, obviously we brought him in May, and his vision is really not just about the 22 guys or 23 guys in Vancouver. It really is about our 50 contracts that we have, and certainly this is Jim's he's a builder. He understands how to build a winner and how to build teams, and this is a huge part of it. So to be able to develop our kids in an atmosphere like this, in a hard-working environment that will teach them what it takes to get to the next step, is really important. And next year we've got some young kids coming in, so we have to keep fostering that so we can. That's the name of the game, and Jim, I don't think anyone understands that better than Jim.
Interviewing some of the great hockey fans in this really terrific hockey town, they said some really glowing things about Coach Green. They called him smart and stoic and a leader. Does he remind you at all of any of the coaches you either played under, any of the coaches in the NHL right now? Is there someone out there that he's sort of a young version?
Well, I think he's. I played with Travis, and he's had the experience of coaching with some real, from someone else. I know Mike Johnston, who's now with Pittsburgh, who I think he would credit with a real helpful experience in his career. But Travis has got that. He's just got that moxie about him. I think when I think about maybe someone I played for would maybe be like an Eric, like a Mark Crawford type of coach. I think he's got certainly got some jam and some fire, but I also think he understands the tactical part of the game, which is real important. I think he's got both sides of it, which in today's National League, you have to be well-rounded to connect with the players.
No,
Last question, guys.
Trevor, some people here are worried. You always hear about the Western, the Western teams wanting Western AHL teams out there in a Western division of the AHL. What is your view on the relationship with Utica and how long?
Well, I mean, what we really like about being here is that we maximize our travel days. Our practice days, because we minimize our travel days, because we're in the heart of the American Hockey League, which I think is important. Like I said, the atmosphere is tremendous. The building is a great atmosphere, and I don't know how much sense it makes if your farm team is right next door to your rink, but they're on the road all the time and they're losing practice days, because ultimately it's about developing, and that comes through in practice day and training days, and so we're real happy. We couldn't be happier with our experience here.
Cal, walk us through the goal frame by frame so that you can break it down for everybody.
Gren's got the puck on the side net, made a great play to Joffrey kind of on the other side of that bank pass, and I was wide open, and Joffrey made a great pass to me, wide open. I just threw it in.
Very physical game tonight.
Yeah, they're a good team. They had a slow start, but they worked really hard, and we knew that they were going to work extremely hard, similar to Syracuse, and I think they definitely had a good start. We picked it up in the second, and the third was kind of back and forth.
Does it, from a fan's perspective, when you know like the team, Vancouver's general manager or team president is here, do you find yourself consciously or subconsciously putting in a different effort?
You know, yeah. I mean, every night, you know, you're trying to bring the same effort. It doesn't matter who's in the building. There's always people watching. But you know, I think sometimes it can make your team a little tentative to start the game, a little bit of nerves. But I think that maybe has something to do with it a little bit. But you know, we weathered it and we came out and had a good second and third.
How important is it? You had a 2-game losing streak. You got a 2-game winning streak now.
Well, it's especially good for our confidence. You know, especially you know, knowing tight games like this where maybe we weren't at our best, we can squeeze out a win. Coming off last weekend to get our first 2 is huge, and we got 1 more left tomorrow.
Talk to us about the adjustments that you made between the first and second period to be able to release the transition game.
Well, you know, they come really hard in the forecheck, so I think we just had to start making more plays and execute a little better. And once we did that, it set us up for a forecheck and getting into their end and getting chances.
When you say make more plays and set us up for a forecheck, can you break that down?
Yeah, just execute better by, you know, making tape-to-tape passes and coming out together on our breakouts. You know, I think we were making a lot of bad passes and pucks were bouncing over our sticks. And when that happens, it makes it easier for them to forecheck us.
Talk to us a little bit about Coach Green. The fans, when we were chatting with them, they absolutely love him. They call him stoic and smart and a reserved but, you know, powerful leader. What inspires you the most about coaching? Who does he remind you of?
Oh, he's very intense. You know, he was a player, and he's not far out of the game, so he's still very intense. And you know, having 10 coaches is good because it gives us intensity, and you know, he's fiery and gets us going. And you know, when he does that, you know, it feeds our whole team.